In this final segment of this mini series on Ayurveda, I'm going to invite Dr. Kesarkar to speak about the Ayurvedic perspective on global economy. And if you could, to also elaborate on the effect of such a thing as a global economy on our health and well-being. Because as we explored in the very first video, Ayurveda is the science of life and the knowledge of life, and nothing is excluded in the knowledge of life, including global economy. So please tell us how you view this.
Thank you, Dr. Kavita, to have me on your mini series. This is a very, I won't say difficult question, but it has got many branches to talk about. But I'll try and elaborate on few so that we can just get into the subject. So Ayurveda, as I said, is built on certain building blocks, and then they have elaborated to a very individual level. So those who know those building blocks, what we call as Sutrasthan in Ayurveda, they don't need to read anything else because there everything is given. One thing which is one of the building blocks is given: what is the purpose of life, or what are the pursuits of life. So it says Dhaneshna, Praneshna, Lokeshna. Somebody called Lokeshna as Parlokeshna. Parlokeshna means to be with the divine. But here there is a little bit of catch, So Dhaneshna is pursuit of wealth. Praneshna is pursuit of health. And Lokeshna must be a pursuit of fame, to be recognized, to be validated. When all these things are done, you got over it, automatically there is nothing more to chase in life. Now here lies the quotient of economy, because it deals, as you can now get me, it deals with behavioral sciences. You cannot earn health, wealth, or fame without interacting or contributing to the society. And these things are not individual. These things come as a combination. You cannot say, okay, I've got over health. Suddenly you are running behind money, and suddenly your health becomes bad. Because you are running behind money, you have a target to again go for health. Sometimes we see people who don't take money, don't care for health, but they want validation. They feel that if people talk good about them, I'm not saying it is right or wrong, I'm just talking about tendencies. They feel good about it. So in what space you feel completely good about yourself, that is your Ishna, that is your pursuit. In terms of global economy and using these concepts, how we were earning wealth, how we were chasing health, and how we were chasing fame has completely changed. Earlier times, with this, there is social distancing. Are you going to send your schools after let us say the vaccine has not come? Still, are you going to send your children to schools with the same confidence? Are you going to hire domestic help in your house with the same confidence? Some people will say it doesn't matter because we can't handle it. So if we get a disease, it is fine. Some people will say no, who are like well off. They'll say no, I can hold on to it, or I have to put some measures. So the way humans are going to interact are going to change. How exactly are going to do businesses? Money has to be made. It could be cash money, it could be digital money, any money. So less human intervention. We were talking about artificial intelligence, we were talking about AI, other kind of this. So production, which required a lot of skilled laborers, is going to go towards 3D printing. A lot of automation is going to come, driverless trucks, driverless cars, where less human intervention is there. People are going to spend more for technology. See, imagine in this world, if we know money is spread in few hands, it's a trickle-down economy. There are very few people who are holding majority of the wealth. So for them, I'm not saying I'm not making a very personal comment. I'm just making a very logical comment. So I don't want the listeners to misinterpret me. For most parts, the lower half is expendable, because if I have a company, I am making something important, I'm adding to the society, I will always require people to work for me. And I know that if somebody is going to go away, somebody is going to replace that lot, because there are too much people who are out of job. So it is a choice not for me as a holder of resources to make. I can invest into technologies to make things work for me. Of course, if I can bide the storm. But what happens at the people who are at a lower level? Let us say that there is no vaccine out there now, there is no disease out there. but the lockdown eases. So somebody in the family says, one family says, no, I'll go out, I'll take a risk because I want to put bread on the table. Does another family's person is not going to get stirred? Is he not going to say, of course, if he goes there, he starts earning money, I am going to lose out of it. Shouldn't I go out there? Now everyone is at home because no one is working. So no one has complaints with each other. They might have complaints with the government, but they won't have complaints with each other. But the moment this race starts, this Dhaneshna starts, now it is Praneshna. Everybody is thinking, oh, I should be healthy, I should be healthy. But the moment this Dhaneshna again starts, Lokeshna again starts, people start coming back into the society to earn bread. It will be, he is going, so should I be not working? Why should I miss out on an opportunity? Let us see, if I take a risk and I go to a company to work, I'll tell, okay, I'm working, I'm coming to start your production, I want a raise. I might say, okay, take it. The other person is getting a raise, why not I go there? A lot of companies have their production houses in countries where labor is cheap. Why? Because they cut down on this cost. Now, will they be willing to risk their companies there? So, this all things change, and this can be curtailed down to these three ashnas of Dhan, Pran and Lokeshna, because these ashnas are always dependent on your surroundings. Vedic science tells, okay, these are the only three pursuits. Again, I am saying I am taking Lokeshna as inclusive of this three and to the Parlokeshna, which is something where you leave everything sansara and you want to go there. So I don't want to make this misinterpretation, but these are the three pursuits which are mentioned there. And some people take Lokeshna in Dhaneshna also, so it's fine. So I'm only talking of these three things which if we sustain, maybe we get free from life. But this never go away. If a logical mind thinks, this never go away. And this is how global economy is going to get impacted. It is now the individual who has to decide what kind of a work he's going to do, how he's going to change the mode of communications. Like earlier, people used to do retreats by traveling to other places. That is going to change. People used to take mass yoga classes. That might change. Apps might start happening where instructor is showing on a video and people are doing it. Depending upon who is supporting what, people will have to upgrade their knowledge again, healthcare providers and everyone on a different level, because this phase of medicine is going to change. As I said, that preventive medicine now or panic medicine, okay, COVID made this kind of an impact. Now tomorrow if somebody says that there is another pandemic which is going to come, so these shots might give you a fair chance of preventing that. How many people are not going to take it? Like there is a vaccine which is coming for cancer, there will be a vaccine which will prevent cancer. How many people are not going to take it? So I'm not saying that these things have a imminent danger, but every person on individual level is going to think. They might not portray that in the public, but they are going to think on the individual level. This is how is going to change the nature of global economy, because that is going to create a kind of demand to which the companies will have to give a supply. And the methodologies and the technologies that has been used in the supply and demand mechanism are going to change the face of the future. If tomorrow, if I want a product, I know it is sanitized right from the factory to my house, I'm going to pay a little bit more for that organization. I'm not going to say, okay, I'm providing to people who are transporting it to me. Amazon has started with drone deliveries. This kind of things. 5G is a reality. People are opposing it. But people say if you want good video conferencing, you want good internet, you want real-time data, then we require strong internet. Only 5G can provide it because it is a next technology. But are you going to be willing to take a chance to disturb the environment? So, this kind of things are going to change. People's opinions towards it are going to change. Before COVID, there was a black and white opinion. Climate change, no climate change. Technology, no technology. Holistic, chemical, nature, concrete cities. Now this amalgamation is going to change. There is no concept of nature, there is no concept of technology. Everything is going to mix and match depending upon the demand supply mechanism. And I feel there are a lot of other concepts in Ayurveda which can explain what is going to go into the future. I've just given you just one simple concept of Dhan, Pran and Parlokeshna. This one concept, if we elaborate with other concepts, we can understand how the global economy and the things we were talking about, like artificial intelligence, neural networks, other kind of medications, customized medications. This all concepts can be explained on this Vedic knowledge, on this basic things of how we can project economy and similarly certain statistical and analytical data of human behavior.
Thank you again for that wonderful perspective, a Vedic perspective about the impact of a pandemic like COVID-19 on the global economy. And as you saw, this is an explanation based on the fundamental human behavior. And this is the kind of logic that really appeals to me, and something that I have really appreciated learning from you is to go back to the basics and to understand everything by reducing it to the basics, which in this case, if we want to understand something as vast and unsurmountable as the global economy, and since we are not all economists and we may not understand, the intricacies of the changes in such a thing as economy, yet we can understand that through the fundamental principles of the three basic pursuits of life. No matter who we are, where we live, where we come from, all 7+ billion of us have the same kinds of pursuits. And it's just different in how we go about those pursuits, but the pursuits are the same. Whether we think that comes through serving on the front lines, or that comes through working in the background, it's quite irrelevant. We all want the same kinds of things. And that is what drives our interactions and the way we behave with each other and the way we impact each other in what we grow as a society in terms of wealth and resources, and what we pay attention to, such as the climate, or the various other kinds of things that we thought were important before COVID-19. Whether they will continue to be important after is something that we will have to see. And if we can really go back again and again to these fundamental principles, perhaps we can understand more about ourselves and the world around us. I hope you have enjoyed this mini-series on Ayurveda. Do subscribe to this channel, and keep an eye out for more such fun and informative kinds of offerings. Thank you so much.